few questions from me, starting with Daniel, about what you said during the intro about making a movie. And this feels very much like a movie. Was that always your intention, your hope, to do something that was that moved like this and was just so entertaining and just had this kind of crackling energy, which is something that I just don't think we get very much from the movies anymore?
Well, I really appreciate the question. My favorite review I read, I might have mentioned in the intro, someone wrote, "Oh, this movie's really hard." And I was like, that's right, that was the intention. I like to think that films are a reflection of the filmmakers. Filmmakers put themselves in their films, so it'll be a surprise to no one that I have ADHD. And I like things to move at a clip, and I wanted something that harkened back to some of my favorite films that had a real pulse and energy behind them, with a kinetic energy. Something that's editorial, that just has that fast, snappy cadence, which is really important to me.
Definitely, and certainly, it's always, I'm sure it's a word that sort of shows up in writing about the movie already, is it's jazzy. It's jazzy in the sense that it sort of crackles and moves and has that sort of musicality. And I guess also just wanted to hear about, was that an early idea or an early ambition to have a film where sound and music were really so fundamental to the experience?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, from the conception to the editing. Greg, are you here? Greg O'Brien's the editor of the film. If you're like a costume designer, you get a screenplay for like a costume drama, that's your thing. But if you're the sound designer and the editor, this is your movie. I always wanted to do something musical and jazzy. I think, of course, film and music are like peas and carrots, they go together. And when you have an amazing needle drop in your movie, it's like a cameo from a celebrity. It's like, oh, there's that song I love that immediately evokes feeling for me. And so I really tried to infuse the film with as much music as possible. Will Bates, who's also here, wrote the music, the original score for the
And kudos on the Herbie Hancock cameo. That was
Thank you.
a great pleasure that was. And certainly, really was the first day? And how was he happy to be there?
He was. It just so happened he was playing a concert in Toronto the night before. And so the pitch was just stay an extra day and be in our movie, and he did it. He was wonderful.
It's amazing. And yeah, I'd love to hear some of the experiences of the cast, starting with Leo and Havana. But really, the sound and music are fundamental to these characters, certainly. And I just guess starting off with those were sort of kind of keys to your performance, sort of thinking about how they hear the world really was a way in for them. Maybe starting with Havana.
The piano was such an active part of who Ruthie was, and I think she sort of built her own identity around it. And so the editing of the sound also just contributes so much to the performance. I felt like I had to do half the work in doing so. But yeah, I think this movie, the heart of it is in sound and is in music, and I think that's what we found in our characters a lot, is an appreciation for that. So the fact that it comes through is so nice.
Yeah, and seeing to Leo about what was it like sort of going through this, to have that to have that acuteness, to really be so sensitive, and to sort of make that very a plausible, very authentic part of the character.
A lot of it was I had to kind of become a lot more aware of what makes noise, which is kind of stressful, but even now I see bits in the movie where I'm like, that's loud. And it's like, but it's such a kind of crippling condition. Daniel and I had endless conversations on set, off set, what the quality of it will be if you kind of do a weird jaw thing, then it kind of blocks your eardrums a little bit, and that we kind of try to incorporate that. And I think a lot of that though goes down to the sound design. They did most of the work for me.
I'm curious that sometimes actors use music as a means of kind of staying in character, sort of enhancing character performance. Was there a lot of music for you, as you were making the movie?
Yeah, there was always a piano around. But I'm not quite as good as Nikki, or even Havana. But I would it's not, I mean, it's a wonderful instrument. It's very soothing, it's very therapeutic.
Piano training.
We both, yeah. 'cause
We did, yeah, we got put through the ringer, to learn piano.
Our wonderful teacher Eve is here,
Oh, I wonder.
who helped us get through the
She is.
And it is certainly one of these movies where I just love spending time with these characters, and also because the characters love so much spending time with each other. And I just love to hear from Dustin and Leo about sort of developing the rapport they have in the movie, and that, you know, what it was like to sort of have all that time driving around. I'm not sure if the car was moving, it might have been stationary, but actually it was probably moving some of that. Van was moving through the city. Probably some real driving
I
out.
was driving.
Yeah, you were right. You were driving.
I wasn't driving. That was
But yeah, what was it like sort of getting to spend time together and sort of find, you know, the kind of rhythms these characters have together?
Right.
I mean, look, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to get to hang out with this man, let alone work with him. He's magic, you know. He's part of the reason why everyone's here tonight. Truthfully. So for me, it was just pure joy, and the most fun I've ever had acting. Truthfully.
You can tell.
Thanks.
And to Dustin too. Was it fun being here? Because this was a good time for you too.
It's always the same. You're nervous, and you don't. I mean, not when it's in the scene, but before and after, it's always strange. Did you do the right choices? Did you, you know? I think the thing that was overwhelming to me was seeing it, because I think it's such a wonderful piece of work.
Aww.
That's so lovely. I mean, that spirit is it just shines through.
That's working with Dustin is this. The way he just made us all feel. Every single day he came in, he would show up early, he would bring snacks, he just wanted to hang out, he'd call an ice cream truck, and I swear, when morale was low, it was a long day, everybody wanted to go home, I'd say, Dustin, do the Captain Hook voice. And without fail, Captain Hook would show up, everyone would be delighted, we finish our day.
If only every job was like that. Yes, I'm sure you have time for questions from the audience. Oh, someone for there. Go ahead. I'll repeat the question too.
So this is a very interesting plot and the whole storyline. You have firsthand experience with someone who has a position like this. Like, where did the idea come for the script? And then, I just want to say you're gonna have a phenomenal year. Everybody last night was amazing. This is amazing. So keep at it. And
Keep at it, Leo.
Yeah, keep that, Leo. And the question. Oh, sorry. You got a question?
thank you for all you've done with the cinema. Thank you for
Thanks, Dustin, too. Okay. And a question to Daniel about sort of your starting points for the film, and also if you knew someone like Nikki who has a similar condition or had researched this.
No, I didn't know anyone like Nikki. People say, write what you know. I don't listen to that advice. I say, write what you'd like to know more about. And so in this case, it was pianos and instruments. When I was just started dating my wife, she took me around to meet all of her friends, and her friend Michelle's husband, Peter, was a piano tuner. And we were hanging out, he took me to his studio, his craft, his workshop, and it was like filled with piano guts, and he started telling me about his work, and I think his normal experience of talking about his vocation, He says he's a piano tuner, the other person's eyes sort of glaze over and they talk about something else. But I'm very interested in this, and I'm interested in this setting and all these instruments that are laying around, and within no time, this guy is telling me about atrophy and entropy and the forces of the universe that want to pull these instruments out of tune, and it's his job to restore order where there wants to be chaos. And I'm like, okay, this is not just a craftsman. This guy is you know, he's doing some serious work that is the bridge between the art and the engineering, and that meeting really inspired me, and I sort of walked away from it. I'm like, you know, it's a vocation that has not been fairly represented in cinema.
I'm very happy to fill that gap too. Other questions? Maybe wave if I can't see you very well. Oh, there you go. Yes, go ahead.
Hi, this is a question for Mr. Hoffman. I'm sure you receive hundreds of scripts a day. What do you think this particular story? What fascinated you brought you to drama film?
Question to Dustin about what drew you to this script and why you came to Toronto, for what compelled you about this script.
My wife was right. I should have worn my hearing aids. That was the one line that you should have said in the movie is, I hate these fucking twins.
The question, yeah, the question was about like what sort of, when you read this script, why were you so drawn to it? You know, what was so compelling about this particular piece?
Oh, yeah. It was just a very unusual experience because I played piano all my life. I wanted to be a concert pianist early on, and then I wanted to be a jazz pianist, and then because I wasn't good enough, I quit. And I thought, well, maybe I'll just go to New York and study acting because you're supposed to be a failure if you're an actor. And so I really feel strongly about the spine of the movie, and that is that there is so much good work that's done that is not appreciated. And I've seen piano tuners all my life come and tune the piano that I grew up on. I still have it. And I saw them play, and I was always aware of what wonderful pianists they were, and many of them were too shy. I said, come on, go on, and they didn't want to. It's painful, whether they're conscious of it or not. It's painful to be that good and to be that ignored. It's kind of like being a good poet, you know. You can't make a living at it. And I think that's the heart of it. I don't understand how our director knew this stuff. I really think that you know, this man, this young lady, and the director, years from now, I'm 88 now, and I think when they get to be around my age, they'll say, Jesus, I didn't know I was that good then. Because you guys are really good, really good.
Oh, up there in the balcony, go ahead.
As a doc director and having your experience there, I'm sure there's lots of things when you come to a narrative that's like challenging. Should
parts that you feel like having just cut your chops in documentaries that you bring to that's different in a narrative way, or maybe something that you might do better because you have that different skill set?
A great question about the influence of having made so many great docs and kind of how that comes to bear making a narrative film.
Well, storytelling is storytelling. So there's just the broad strokes of making a movie, telling a story that cross both modes. But you know, there's a lot of things in fiction filmmaking that you don't have in documentary. As I said in my intro, I never had to work with actors before. And on my first day my first shoot, to show up and Dustin Hoffman's standing there, and Jean Reno, who's not here today, is in the movie, and Tovah, Feldshuh, a national treasure. Well, we're in Canada, but American national treasure. Lior, who's one of my all-time favorites. It was very it was obviously intimidating, I think, for Havana, Leo, and I, sort of, I'm new at this. Havana, Leo had more experience on movie sets than I did, but everyone was incredibly patient with me. But I think the three of us really had to sort of huddle. And it didn't take too long before Mr. Hoffman became Dusty. As you could tell, we really cultivated a real warmth and sort of familial feeling when we were making this movie, and I really hope that you see that when you're watching it.
Very much. We've got time for just one more questions out there. Sorry. Oh, there you go. Yes, thank you.
This question actually is for Yuri or Lior. Did you really have to use the air horn? So painful.
First of all, I want to say that I'm a very nice guy. Really, I see myself here, it's bad, but no. In real life, I'm very nice. No, I didn't, and I didn't cut his ear as well. It's just a movie. This is the magic of movies. Yeah.
Dustin Hoffman has won a lot of awards in his life, but he's never won the Toronto International People's Choice Award. Just before we walked on stage, he was telling me how meaningful it would be for him if he won that award. So everybody, go home and cast your ballot. This really matters. It can help make sure our film gets seen. So thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, everyone here, for bringing us